Sequels. It seems like sequels have just been going on and on and on ad infinitum. Some of them are good, some of them are just lousy ones, and all the ones that are just get critically reevaluated over time. And definitely one of them is Halloween 2. And it is definitely one that, for 1981, it's not that bad. It's. Alright, let me explain. So, obviously, the first one was an international success. You saw my review of it. It's freaking phenomenal. But then, of course, just like all the other ones, it's like, hey, let's make a sequel. And they could have gone away with it. You know what they did? They just took what was established and just added a little bit more into the, I guess you could say, the acting of Jamie Lee Curtis, except this time she is in a hospital. And we get to follow more of Donald Pleasence. There's a more active role rather than just having the dialogue. Let me explain. So, right after the first movie, Michael Myers escapes, and it's Donald Pleasence and some cops are trying to find him. You know, they're going around, and I don't know, I just like the engagement, because it's like, the first one I was like, hey, let's have the mythology built up. It's like, here, let's have more execution. So, you know, it's just the way how they go around just looking for him. Very particularly in the beginning. I don't know why this scene just stood out so much. As Sam Loomis and a cop are looking around, he's like, okay, we're trying to keep an eye out for him. A bunch of kids are walking, saying, hey, go tells the kids, hey, go inside. Lo and behold, they see a person dressed as Michael Myers. So they obviously think that it's him. So it's, okay, go run into him. However, right at the same time, another freaking cop car comes. The poor guy's just trick-or-treating. Gets slammed right into a freaking tanker and explodes. Yeah, that was definitely a very interesting scene. I'm just like, I completely forgot about that. That poor schmuck must have gotten it so bad. But yeah, it's just, I was just looking at it. Oh, of course, obviously, with those two being related or whatever it was, or was that in the fourth one? Anyway, here we get more an expansion on the mythology and everything, and you know what? It works fine. I don't know. It just, we get to see him. We get to see Loomis say, I shot him 6 times, yet he's still living. So ultimately, because of how, I don't want to, like, everything that befalls Laurie, she eventually gets to a hospital or whatever. But lo and behold, there he comes, just walking. And he was willing to do anything to stop her. And, I like it. I like the depths that he is willing to go through. This is like what a villain should be. He should be willing to stalk, and it's like he's never really like saying much, obviously, but here it feels like the natural end of it. The first part is like saying, hey, yeah, ultimately we get quite the fiery end as Loomis is right in there with him, and he turns on some gas canisters and says, hey, Michael, or whatever. Like we get the tense finale as he's slashing away. He's blinded due to, I think it was an iron or something like that. Flashes. Sam tells Laurie, okay, run now, and then, like, lo and behold, gas canisters are on. Does a lighter, place like that little part of the house will explode. So yeah, that was definitely a true fiery ending. And ultimately she gets rescued, but yeah, she's probably freaking traumatized by everything. But yeah, this movie is fine. It's not as bad. By the time that they had to reuse a different William Shatner mask, because the original one was so dirty, and some of the other crew members held on to some of the material on the first movie, and ultimately a rule was made saying, hey, none of the crew can hold on to any of the props and everything. So yeah, ultimately, Halloween 2, I would say, definitely give it a watch. It's one of these that your mileage may vary, but yeah, pretty good.